Good evening. This is the Lion of Legend, and welcome back to Touchstarved. We have not touched this in a while, so I need to come back in here and get through this playthrough. And hopefully I do that today. Okay, now. I don't think I remember who this guy's name is. It's been so damn long. But I remember the other characters' names, now that they're right in my face. So I can start asking about these characters. The last time we were together, I remember there was a brawl, we were in a bar, this guy took this guy out to protect me, and I decided to follow him out the door. Who do we want to learn about? We'll say... Kuras. I didn't know that you and Kuras were friends. In a way. I help him in the clinic sometimes. Doctor doesn't let most people closer than arm's length. And you do? Heart's on my sleeve. Get the sense Kuras was like that in the past. Must have been burned. He trails off after the last few words, then shrugs. He opens up in his own ways, if he's relaxed enough. I don't know how to even imagine that. You'd be surprised. Even the doctor has an endearing side. I can't decide what's more intriguing. The fact that Kuras has an endearing side, or the idea that Ice has managed to coax it out of him. Tell me if you uncover any of his other secrets. I'd kill to know more. Okay. Let's talk about Leander. You and Leander clearly get along well. You like Leander? Doesn't everyone? He's helped me a lot since I arrived in Iridia. He even got me a free room at the Wet Wick. His charm has gotten him far, but for a leader, he sure likes it when others take control. Part of me desperately wants to ask him what he means, but Ice continues before I get the chance. Surprised we get along? I thought you'd be at each other's throats instead of drinking buddies. His smile is easy, but there's a dangerous edge to it. Leander's done a good job, for a human. Naturally, there will come a time when his resolve is tested. Same could be said for anyone, in this plane or the next. As for my resolve, well, stick around in Iridia long enough, and you'll find out. I nod slowly. I can't decide if it sounds like a promise or a threat. Got any more observations, Sparrow? Let's talk about Min. Maybe Min doesn't necessarily like you, but they definitely pay attention to you. Ai's reaction takes me off guard. He growls, pinches the bridge of his nose, as exasperated as I've ever seen him. I make enemies as easily as I breathe, Sparrow. Doesn't bother me. But that dove's got it out for me for no reason. Maybe they're unsettled by the sea spring. It's not about that. Goes without saying that they've got some issues. Don't think they understand that you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. Honey has left a bad taste in my mouth in the past. It could be the same for them. At least you're capable of a conversation. Do me a favor, and to teach the dove some manners. Thought they'd lay off eventually if I didn't bite. Hasn't happened yet. I briefly consider the possibility that Min wants to get bitten. I'm not about to propose that, though. I was surprised to see that you and Veer are close. Blessing and a curse. From what I've gathered, most people think he's, I don't know, an asshole? And water's wet. I wait for him to elaborate or add his thoughts, but he doesn't. So what do you like about him? He lets out a quiet laugh, as if amused by my question. A lot of things. He already named one. You like that he's an asshole. Temperament matches the drapes. Looks good in blood, and better in tears. Favorite thing's the tail. Sometimes it frizzes up if you... He catches himself, clears his throat. It's hard not to let the disappointment show in my expression. Veer is one of the most honest people you'll meet. Just don't listen to a single thing he says. Those sound like complete opposites to me. My main point is that, speaking from experience, being an outsider usually means you don't have friends. I don't. I level him with a tired look. Fine, I'll confess. I have one friend. Don't say yourself. How the hell do I say this? Okudeus? Okay, I might just be butchering this word. Osudeus? Okudeus? Osudeus? Osudeus. Osudeus. My skin prickles at the name, hair standing on end. Who's that? A friend. It lives in my head. It lives in your head. Ice taps his temple with a finger. Right here. Scared you off yet? That'd be the third bad impression I've made on you today. I'm stunned for a long moment, processing what he just told me. Then I burst into a fit of laughter. You're serious. Ice grins wide enough to flash his fangs. Deadly. It sounds so fucking absurd, I can't help it. On top of everything I've gone through today, it feels like I'm living in a fever dream. I've come close to death more times than I can count, encountered tame Solus, and a horrifying group mind, and now I'm supposed to believe that there's someone living inside of Ice's head. There are tears in my eyes by the time I rein myself in. Ice waits patiently, lips quirked in amusement. Sorry, it just sounds so ridiculous. The tension that wound my shoulders so tightly has melted away, and for the first time in a long time, I feel like I can breathe. I feel better. Dukas, where in the rat's ass are you? Raucous, gruff shouts rise in the streets, echoed by the sound of heavy boots sloshing through mud. The voices share the roughneck's accent from the bar, the same roughneck who is still maybe dead and lying bloodied across from us. I nearly forgot about him. I shove to my feet as their voices get louder. They're closing in quick. Ice pulls me by the wrist out of the alley, away from beaming moonlight. We dive into a nook between buildings, veiled in the shade of tattered canopies. It's a tight fit. Ice boxes me in against the wall, his body all but pressed against mine as he towers over me. For the second time today, the heady scent of smoke envelops me, but this time, cut with a metallic tinge of someone else's blood. Ice pitches his voice low. Quiet. My heart leaps into my throat. I'm suddenly acutely aware of the heat radiating off Ice's body. The feeling of his leg grazing my thigh, the closeness of his breath. This is bad. I squirm against him and earn a burning crimson glare. Do we really have to? His hand covers my mouth, muffling my whispers. He shakes his head. Don't. Damn, he's over here. Dukas, wake up, you bastard. A group of individuals, all brandishing spiked weapons, fill the alley. Once I get glimpses of their violet sashes, I instantly know they're not just roughnecks, they're gangsters. Only gangs with a lot of influence would fly colors so openly. I wish I could see what they're doing, but Ice's arm all but blocks my sight. My eyes trail up to the teal markings. They coil around his arm, his bicep. They lead up to Ice's collarbone, to the cords hanging around his neck, and to the smuggest smirk I've ever seen. Huh. Huh. Well, I see we have options. We'll stare at his chest. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of options. My eyes dart away from his face, following the line of his necklace down his chest. The way the pendant hangs above the line of his abdomen, just before the skin gets swallowed by darkness. A thrill jolts through me, my face hot beneath his touch. This can't be happening. Why am I getting worked up in this situation? Voices in the alley grab Ice's attention this time. Shit, he's got more broken bones than whole ones. What kind of freak did this? Fan out. Find the cocksucker responsible. You three, take Dukas back to base. At least he's still breathing. The alley clears out as footsteps rush away from us. We stay still until they're distant, melting into the rumble of the quarter. Only then does Ice take his hand off my mouth. When we finally step back into the moonlight, the night air is ice on my skin. I feel dazed, and the need to keep my eyes off Ice at all cost. Was that really necessary? The tremble to my voice is nothing but embarrassing. Staying hidden was the best option. Would be a hassle to run into them with you there. What, because I'm dead weight? Because 3 bad impressions are enough for one day. The answer is too vague for my liking, but he's probably right. Either way, I don't have the energy to argue. Come on, Sparrow. Let's get you home before you're framed for murder. Very funny. We reach the front of the wet wick too quickly. I hate to admit it, but I don't want to separate from Ice yet. And not just because he never answered my questions. He's infuriating. As easily as he makes me feel on edge, he can make me feel safe, secure somehow. You know where to find me. At the creepiest place in the world. Take your time before you decide to drink. I happen to like your shitty attitude. It takes me a moment to process it, then my eyes flutter down to my feet. I'll keep that in mind. When I glance back up from the ground, Ice is already down the street, disappearing into the throng of people. No fanfare, not even a wave. Asshole. Choose your fate. What is going on? Who do I want? We'll just keep following Ice. Sure, why not? Oh. What? Okay, Veer. The chained charlatan. Veer serves as a warning of the dangers posed by the cenobium. As cunning as he is curious, Veer finds you fascinating and insists that he can help. But trusting him means entrusting your life to a collared beast with a lethal reputation. Can Veer protect you, or are his honeyed words a trap waiting to snap shut? Leander, the heroic mage. Leander offers you something that should be impossible, a taste of normalcy free of your curse. As the first person to withstand your touch, he could change your life. But some things are simply too good to be true. Leander promises to help unravel your curse, but at what cost? Ice, the demon renegade. An intimidating, yet laid-back outsider, Ice presides over a sea spring with unnerving powers. He offers you a miracle, but the price means submitting yourself to the horrifying presence at the heart of the spring. Will you gaze into the abyss for answers, even at the risk of losing yourself? Kuras, the repentant angel. From all appearances, Kuras is a principled doctor of extraordinary skill, but you know little about the man beneath the professional mask, and Kuras keeps even his friends at a cool distance. If you uncover his deepest secrets, will you like what you find? Min, the cursed outsider. Despite their cold nature and familiarity with violence, Min is just as desperate as you to get into the cenobium. You may be able to help each other, but they're keeping as many secrets as you. They claim they're dangerous, but could they be your only chance at getting into the cenobium? Well, I do know that we need to get rid of this curse, because we can't touch people, and we need to get into the cenobium. However, the cenobium is quite evil. Apparently. We're gonna go with ice. That's it. We're choosing ice. What? Oh boy. I got played. Thanks, Dev. I appreciate that. Well, goddamn. Finally, we have finished Touchstarved, the demo. At least our first playthrough of the demo. I have no idea when the full game is coming, or even if the full game is out right now. I haven't been to the page for this game in quite some time. Will I come back and go through the rest of the dialogue in this game? I don't know. There was a lot of dialogue for this being a demo, so there's definitely a lot of options and paths that you can follow, with a lot of beautiful men that you can follow. So if you're into that, good for you, because I'm going to leave a link in the description where you can also play this game and look out for the full release. I will be looking for the full release as well, because overall, despite me taking a while to complete this game, I did enjoy it. I just had quite the backlog and a lot of things going on. So, that being said, one, if you're just coming into this, go ahead and look at the other playthroughs I've done. This is a series of playthroughs. This is a series of chapters that I've been uploading. If you did like this video, or perhaps if you liked my playthrough entirely, go ahead and leave a like on this video, drop a comment, perhaps subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all in the next video. So have a good night.